President Muhammadu Buhari back in Abuja after a successful outing in Russia. Low compliance characterized monthly sanitation exercise in Ogun. National Teachers Award, Ogun teacher bags federal government's car reward. Good evening and you're welcome to Channel 12 News. I am Nta Abeokuta. President Muhammadu Buhari is back in Abuja, the nation's capital, after a very successful outing at the first ever Russia-Africa Summit and Economic Forum in Sochi. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that several investment deals were secured and high-level commitment critical to the economic well-being of the country extracted. Details. Yeah.
President Muhammadu Buhari, accompanied to the Russian Federation by the governors of Ekiti, Gombe and Zamfara states, arrived Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, at 5:30 Friday evening. On hand to receive him were his Chief of Staff Abba Kyari, Minister of the FCT Muhammad Musa Bello, Inspector General of Police Muhammad Adamu, Director General of the Department of State Services Yusuf Magaji Bichi, and other senior government officials. Meanwhile, some members of his delegation to the Russian Federation have been speaking on Nigeria's major takeaways from the European nation.
This is one trip that has probably achieved more than any trip that the president has been lately. If you look at the range of issues that Mr. President discussed with President Putin on nuclear energy, on Nta Abeokuta steel, on the military cooperation agreement, on the railway, you could see that it covered a broad range of areas. And what's most impressive to me is that the Russians have also agreed that for many of these things, it would be a government-to-government partnership. It's been a particularly rewarding visit for the petroleum sector, where I have always said that Russia has a lot of know-how and technology that Nigeria can benefit from. We have the natural resources that Russia can benefit from. And on this visit, we've made a lot of progress with the Russians. We have signed with Lukoil. Lukoil is coming to Nigeria big time. Lukoil is quite a big company. They have a production of 2.3 million barrels as a company. So I believe that in the end, we are taking a lot home. And this is going to really be good for our relations with Russia.
The most important that we're taking away from here is the fact that Nta Abeokuta will work. So it gladdens my heart. That is something that we can do. And of course, the Russians were the original builders of Nta Abeokuta. And after so many years, we've come back to them, and they are. We have a firm promise, especially from the president of the Russian Federation, that Russia is willing to come in, and of course, Nta Abeokuta will work before Mr. President completes this second term.
You know, steel is a bedrock of industrial development, and once we are able to bring back Nta Abeokuta on stream, I think Nigeria will spring up, and the sky will be the limit.
Our president is doing very well to improve the well-being of our nation, and we know Russia will cooperate and do the best for Nigeria.
The visit to the Russian Federation was the first by President Muhammadu Buhari since coming to power in 2015. Adamu Sambo, Nta News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is urging Nigerians to see their cultural diversity as a way to unite the nation. He was speaking at the town hall meeting as part of the celebration of Nifest in Benin City, Edo State capital. Goodluck Inahire report that the Vice President was also at the Palace of Oba of Benin for the coronation anniversary and birthday aside the festival.
The National Festival for Arts and Culture, holding in Benin, gradually comes to a close. The Vice President's visit underscores federal government's determination to harness the nation's cultural diversity for national unity and development. He is at the Oba Kenzua Cultural Center for a dialogue Speakers at the meeting want the government to fully explore all avenues to make Nigerians' acts more visible in the global sphere.
We believe that within our tradition, we possess a culture of truth with which to positively change our future for the better.
Professor Shimbajo says government is handling this issue with all the seriousness it deserves.
We believe very strongly that arts and culture is the way that our country will be able to get the very best narrative. All of what we're seeing so far, all over the world, is a greater interest in Nigeria. And a lot of that interest has been demonstrated because of what our young men and women have been doing in entertainment. And also what many have been doing in Nollywood and so many other initiatives in arts and culture.
The Vice President was earlier at the palace of the Benin monarch to felicitate with him on his 3rd year anniversary on the throne. He was also at the National Museum where he interacted with pupils from some selected schools. The Vice President has since returned to Abuja. In Benin, Goodluck Enaimi, Nta News.
The federal government has presented a gift to a teacher from Ogun State who emerged the overall best teacher in the just concluded National Teaching Competition 3rd President Teacher School Excellence Award. The Ogun State Governor, Nta Abeokuta, who presented the gift on behalf of the federal government, gave 5 million naira to the winners from Ogun State. Lukman Adefeso's report is presented from our studio.
Abiola Temitayo, you have emerged the best school teacher in the private category from the President's Teachers and Schools Excellence Award, and that has earned you this brand new car.
That was Abiola Temitayo, the teacher who clinched overall best in the just concluded President's Teacher Schools Excellence National Competition, meant to appreciate the effort of the teachers as well as attract the younger people to the teaching profession. The competition was also to promote professionalism. 3 others with outstanding performances came from Ogun State. They are Olaliko Adieko from Baptist Boys High School, 2nd position in the public secondary school category, while 2nd best senior secondary schools in Nigeria went to a teacher from Mayflower Secondary School, Ikene Adenile High School. Ifo came 5th in the best administrator junior school category. In summary, Ogun State won 4 out of the 15 awards nationwide. Governor Nta Abeokuta, who was elated with the outstanding performances, said Ogun State will soon commence its own version of the award, which will be tagged Governor's Teacher Schools Excellence Award. The governor also rewarded the winners.
We are supporting the best teacher senior secondary school, Mr. Abiola Temitayo, with a sum of 2 million naira. The best teacher senior secondary school category, the first runner-up, Mr. Adieko Olaliko Abiola, with a sum of 1.5 million naira. The first runner-up and 2nd position, which is Mayflower, we're supporting you with a sum of 1 million naira. And the school that came first is the Ademili High School in Ifo. We'll go away with 500,000 naira.
The overall best winner appreciated the gesture of government and enjoined all teachers to be more committed to duties, as there is always a reward for hard work.
Residents of Ogun State have been advised to support government in its efforts at promoting a clean, safe, and healthy environment. The advice was given when environmental officers went around Abeokuta, the capital city of Ogun State, to monitor the exercise. They berated the low level of compliance to the law on the part of residents of the metropolis. Mohammed Adeboale's report.
Residents of the metropolis are to stay in their various houses to clean the environment and surroundings between the hours of 7 and 10 in the morning, as stipulated in the environmental laws of the state. But when Nta Abeokuta News crew went to the place to have a glance as to how people participated, it was discovered that residents were not in full compliance with the restriction order compared to previous editions. Although few people engaged in the exercise, while some generated debris were seen dumped on road median for evacuation, marketplaces under lock and key, even as errand motorists were delayed for the period the exercise lasted. Nigerian Meteorological Agency had predicted that Nigeria will be experiencing more rain this year, hence the need to ensure free flow of water to avoid loss of lives and properties as a result of flooding. Residents were therefore advised to desist from dumping refuse on waterways and building structures on flood-prone areas. In Abeokuta, Muhammad Adebowale, NTA News.
The Ogun State Commissioner of Police, Bashir Makama, is one of the officers recently promoted to the rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG, by the Police Service Commission. Security agency says his elevation coming after an impressive run as the police boss in the state is well deserved. The report is presented in this part.
Security is everyone's business. We expect them to collaborate with us, partner with us, give us useful information. Here in the state, we have taken it a step further, where we put complaint boxes. We have reintroduced that complaint boxes or information boxes, as the case may be. We have put them in strategic areas in conjunction with members of the PCRC, so that we bring policing closer to the people.
That's duty. It has not been business as usual for criminals. It's courage, positive techniques, professionalism, and acid precision or style of combating crime were realistic.
He comes as a gentleman police officer, but beneath his being gentle is, you see the rare professionalism in him. He fought crime and criminality to his nails.
When it comes to crime busting, the man is not simple at all. Simply Bashir Makama is not a very simple person in terms of busting crime.
With his track record, within his few months as #1 police officer in Ogun State, residents say he has proven that he had indeed come, saw, and conquered. Some security and law enforcement agents in the state commended his leadership attributes, which brought about a strong synergy between all security agencies in the state.
This peace that we are witnessing is also not automatic. It's also a collaboration, it's a function of the collaboration among security agencies in Ogun State, which the CP that is going to be former CP soon is actually coordinating very well. He's a very humble man, and he likes to carry everybody along.
As a commissioner of police, he holds meeting with CDAs. He holds regular meeting with all non-actors that are in Ogun State.
One of Bashir Makama's remarkable achievements in the state was serious clampdown on kidnappers with instant rescue of several victims. Besides fighting crime, Makama had a very cordial relationship with corporate organizations and agencies in the state. Bashir Makama is now Assistant Inspector General of Police. The federal government has commenced area spray of farmlands infected by killer birds and other pests in 8 states. Aircraft has been deployed by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture to identify the hideouts of the birds and attack them with chemicals. Musa Baba Ali has the details.
Migrating birds moving in dozens, hungry, with their eyes and mouths open, looking for grain farms to feed on. Quilla birds are what they are called, but to farmers, they are enemies of progress. The birds, by nature, have the ability of bringing down a hectare of rice or any farm in few seconds.
We put all our efforts in the farm, and if we allow these birds that comes in millions, they will just destroy us in a day. So,
with the reported presence of the birds in 6 states, Czech Republic, the federal government deployed aircraft and chemicals to destroy them.
The chemical acts on when they breathe it, it affects their nervous system and their digestive system. So it's a question of let them breathe it, not to soak their body. Yes. So that is the action of the chemical.
The exercise, which took off from Kano, is to cover all the states in Northwest, Northeast, and some states in the North Central.
Been doing it anytime there is influx of this transborder pests. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture would immediately swing into action and carry out this operation in most of the states, especially Kano, Katsina, Jigawa, Gombe, Bauchi, Sokoto, Kebbi, and Zamfara. These are some of the frontline states where these devastating effects take place.
To this end, farmers have been warned against consuming the birds killed by the chemicals due to its health implications. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Nigeria's stand-up comedian Funny Bone has announced the passing away of his mother, as D'banj is set to feature on the movie Sugar Rush. For details, let's join Oluwatosin Fashetire in our entertainment news for tonight.
Entertainment news tonight. Losing a parent comes with so much grief and pain. He's grieving after the dismiss of his mother. Mourning the loss of his mother, Funny Bone shared a blank photo on his Instagram page. The actor made the announcement via his Instagram page on Friday, October 25, 2019, where he shared a photo with an emotional message, "Speechless. I am pained, but I have leave it all to you, Lord. You alone know best, and I can't question you. In every situation we give praise. I will miss you, Nnem." Also on entertainment news, Nta Abeokuta has announced that her new film Sugar Rush, featuring D'banj, will be in the cinema on Christmas Day. Sugar Rush, Abeokuta said, was filmed in just 14 days in location around Lagos, Nigeria. While Abeokuta didn't reveal much about the role D'banj will be playing in the film, she released other members of the cast. D'banj will star in the film alongside Toke Makinwa and Ademoye. According to Abeokuta, D'banj also occupies the seat of a co-producer on the project. Abeokuta hinted that the first official teaser for the film will be released on Friday, October 25, 2019. On this note, we wrap up NTA Entertainment News for tonight. I am Oluwatosin Fashetire.
Nigeria's ace footballer and coach, Kadiri Hannah, is one of the most successful Nigerian coaches. He is presently in a precarious state of health due to an injury sustained during his younger days as footballer. Our correspondent who visited the Abeokuta residence of the former Nigeria's under-23 and Super Falcons coach reports on his situation. This is Kadiri Hannah, one of the first generation of Nigerian footballers who, with the likes of Segun Odegbami, Nidalawal, Christian Chukwu, Adeoke Amesimaka, Felix Owolabi, and others in the then Green Eagles made Nigeria proud in 1980 when they won the first African Cup of Nations for Nigeria. This Kwara-born Nigerian, now a septuagenarian, is now a shadow of his old self. Yes, he made his mark in the game of football. History of some football clubs in the country is incomplete without his name.
Also the first coach to win the Champions League for Nigeria and the first Nigerian to be named African Coach of the Year.
Now, is it proper for someone who has served the country wholeheartedly to be neglected in time of need?
He retired here as a player and he started his coaching career from Ogun State. And a lot of people have benefited from him. I see no reason why we should not rally around him and make sure we assist him to get better.
Right now, even administrators are earning more than what the likes of Coach Kadiri Hannah earned when they were playing football. So it's now lie on everyone to come out and support people like him when they actually need this support.
Kadiri Hannah sustained a hip injury in 1985 when playing for the defunct Abiola Babes of Abeokuta after struggling to battle the injury in vain. He retired prematurely from active football, but he still could not take his eyes off football, and so he ventured into coaching youngsters. Job he did excellently and excelled.
But when I go into coaching, thinking, stretches, trying so many things has to do in coaching. I believe this affected and brought back the injury.
After he spent fortune, and now the burden too much for him alone.
So I have time. Coupled with the children are too they are still helping to take care of him. It's not easy, but we are trying to take care of him like that.
No doubt, an Abuja hospital had offered to treat him free of charge, but the septuagenarian had some fears.
You see, I'm not the only one. That's happened to Christian Chukwu, that's happened to Aduki Amasimaka, Peter Fregene, and so many others like that. I think it is better for the government or the federation itself to look into players' welfare medically. If this thing has been taken care when I was playing, because I sustained this injury while I was playing, maybe today I won't be in this position.
Groups